Awesome. Okay, I've got this little test going on. I'm gonna go ahead and check out the VAS Specter. I put the Storm OSD system on it. Seems to balance just fine with the 5003S. So already got it wrapped. Hopefully the warpage wasn't too bad and everything else. It's not going to affect it in any way. We've got the Bebop flying over there with follow me mode, so hopefully it won't crash into anything. Alright, this ought to be a lot of fun. I gotta do this before the battery ends up dying in the camera here. Okay. Hope I can launch it out in that direction. We'll see what happens here. Alright. Yeah, this next project here that I'm going to go ahead and show on the video. Basically, it's the VAS Specter. It's been kind of brought back from the dead. Lots of good flying from it so far, but it had to be reconstructed so that it basically would take and fly correctly. I went through and put a Storm Cyclops on-screen display into it, autopilot. This way I can at least allow a proper return to home, and I can go ahead and have some reassurances just in case the video decided to quit on me. One good plus is I've added a new video transmitter for 5.8. That's an AKK version. It has 4 different video settings, so in this way you can bring the power level all the way from 25 milliwatts all the way up to 600 milliwatts. Most of the time I fly on 25 milliwatts, so I don't have to worry about the power output, since the antennas that I have seem to reach out quite a ways, and it's good for small field flying. Originally started taking the covering off and redoing the spar. I had to go ahead and fill in all the blank areas. I then cut out access areas so I can go ahead and put in all the new wiring after I had removed all the old wiring and get it ready for the new electronics and parts placement. The servos that went into it are pretty much the same ones that were in it originally when it was constructed by another gentleman. He put in really decent servos in it, so I've never had any problems with those. We've changed out the motor once. As of now, I'm not sure what kV motor rating it is because it's a blank case on the outside. It's swinging about an 8.5 prop, and it's got a Turnigy 40 amp ESC with I'm running a 4S 5200 milliamp. Tattoo battery. Basically, it seems to actually run a lot better with that. The first video here I'm going to be showing, it's with a 3S 5000, and I wanted to go ahead and find out if it was even going to be able to fly. And to my chagrin, it actually took and flew without a problem, but it's very saggy. It did allow it to fly for quite a while with a 5000 3S. Just not nearly as much power as I was really hoping for. As it is right now, with that amount of weight right there, you can't really put a camera on the front. And I'm not really too worried about it with this one, only because of the purpose that it's for is mostly to just go out and have fun. Any added weight to this thing, it kind of really drags down the performance of the airframe. One of the things I wanted to test was to make sure that at least the stabilization and return to home were working properly, so I had to make sure I get it up to a proper altitude, and this way I can go ahead and check the stabilization. And what I found is it holds the altitude and the course heading pretty much the way it's supposed to as set on the parameters. When you go ahead and open up the Storm Cyclops settings and everything, you just go ahead and select those. You set your distance parameters, and you set your altitude, and uh, just making sure that if you have any problems, what happens is it automatically triggers return to home if you exceed past that point. Everything is in meters and kilometers per hour, so it's basically a metric reading system. Don't really have much to worry about in terms of how far out I am and how high it goes, as long as I take into account it's 120 meters for 400 feet, and the meters out, it's just another dial that's going up and down. I can go ahead and calculate 1600 meters is approximately 1 mile. So, and I will go ahead and leave it at that. And this way I can do a quick formula, and you can go ahead and find out how many feet you have actually traveled outwards before you come back. As for the radio, I'm using a Dragon Link. Yeah, it's one of the older Dragon Links. The receiver I have is a micro receiver, and it's providing telemetry coming back, but I don't have any telemetry coming from this autopilot, so I don't have any means of being able to see it on the tablet. As for reliability, the entire time I've been flying it, it has always shown 100% on the RSSI because I haven't flown out far enough. That will probably come with further testing, but I'm going to have to take it out to another area so I don't have to worry about interference with people, buildings, structures, anything like that. So it's going to have to be done later on. Overall, a really good airplane. I reinforced the nose with extra carbon fiber rods and some carbon strand. Even gave it about a 5mm laminate on all the foam structures on the airframe. This way it would provide a little bit more rigidity. So. Excellent. I caught the entire flight on that one, and the bebop basically almost ran out of battery. So it's almost shut off. But yeah, the VAS Specter. So on a 3-cell battery, this thing really has not a whole lot of punch, but it does have longevity. So, but I'm always having to operate at full throttle. I might try it at 4S next, but seems like at level 2 on the video transmitter, it was kind of getting flaky out. Probably about the mid part of the field, so I'll probably go ahead and bump it up and see if it kind of helps out. But it's got 4 different settings on it for signal strength on the video transmitter. So when I went through and ordered a new one, flimsier camera on the front. Yeah, the Storm OSD system seems to be working just fine, except for the GPS seems to have a tough time with us. I'm actually outdoors. Other than that, seems to fly all right. The return to home has quite a big radius. I probably have to take and redo the settings in the on the OSD itself and everything else to kind of tighten it up a little bit. But yeah, at least I know it'll return to home. So, but yeah. This thing's going to be a lot of fun. I've got like 3 other batteries I can use in this thing because I'm using them on the Z-Con as well. So, not bad though. All right. Okay, as the flying progressed, I wanted to go ahead and check the flying parameters. I wanted to make sure that the plane had good stall speed, and I never really got it down to a stall It seems like the handling is really well, but the only real issue that I have is that when I put the airplane back together, one wing seems to have a warp going up, and the other wing, let's say the right wing, basically has a warp going down. The booms are cranked in such a way where it lifts up and cranks over the elevator in a slight angle, which kind of gives it more of a, it's leaning to to the left. Well, oddly enough, is when I went to go fly it, it had no trim issues, and it basically flew like it was on a rail. As soon as you trim the thing up, it just stayed there, right in a straight line. I was pretty happy with that. So, in terms of handling qualities, I don't think I really have much to worry about, even with the added weight from the battery. So, all in all, really good airframe after so many years. This thing is definitely getting up there. It's probably about an 8-year-old airplane so far. And I'm looking forward to being able to fly it for a little bit and see how well it will handle. Let's go ahead and go have some more fun with it. So. Well, at least it works. Pretty cool when he can fly along the ground like that under the goggles. Just don't fly it into a soccer goal, that's all. Yeah, when you put the throttle down like that, it just cruises. Getting lower. That's getting pretty low. Speed. Oh, yeah. Soaked it. Well, that was a pretty kicking flight. Man, I was lucky. Yeah, so far the 5200 4S, I think the same one I use in the mini directs. Pretty much a good optimum one for that plane if you don't use any HD camera. So, I'll say, man, that thing flew awesome. At least this time I recorded everything, so yeah, the other memory card I think is pretty much had it, and that's the reason why my daughter's camera stopped working. So All right, well,